so the niching down, it helps because now you know exactly who you're talking to, who you want to serve, and specifically how you want to serve them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fire.
It reminds me of one of the modules from Best Buy Skills Academy, actually. I think you said something like, if you're trying to sell to everybody, you're selling to nobody.
Yes.
So
yes.
So true, you know?
My man, yo, he just
I did.
touched my heart, man. Touched my heart. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Best Bet Dan. You already know I'm sitting down with my guy, Roman Novy-Marx.
It's good to be here.
Word. And it's funny, we go back about 5 years.
5 years already, that's crazy.
Bro, it's crazy. We
Sheesh.
met on a random day on Park Avenue here in Rochester.
Indeed. My senior year of high school.
Yeah, just chilling.
Was sneaking out to grab some lunch.
Facts.
This guy was actually filming just like we're filming now on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Stopped to ask you what's up, and the rest is history, I suppose.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So if you don't know, if you're, however you got to this video, for 5 years, I really spent a lot of time building a coaching business where I was really focusing on helping young people build high impact communication skills, or what I like to call social trades, right? They're social skills that you can treat as a trade. And so, yeah, Roman was, when I actually finished creating the course, Roman was one of the first kids to take it. And so, I mean, we've been locked in ever since. I mean, shoot, I've gone to the one soccer game I went to was in where was it? Like in Maryland or something?
Yeah.
I forgot what city it was in. Well, somewhere in Maryland. I've got to see you go play at Cornell.
Yes, sir.
So,
you saw the whole journey from academy after we met, and then playing now in college. And so we came out to one of my college games, which was sweet.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
So fast forward, and we've talked, I'll probably have you repeat some of the stuff because so today Roman is going into his senior year. So he's a rising senior at Brown University. Shout out to the Ivy League, Big Foe.
Indeed.
But he is majoring in economics, and
environmental science.
Word.
Yeah.
So he was just filling me in on his internship that he got this summer in LA. So share a little bit more about the internship and just explain what it is.
Yeah, totally. Can give you the full rundown. So working for a firm called Dimensional Fund Advisors, which is sell side. So I'm working in their global client group and helping explain what we do to new clients, make sure that they're getting the best out of our products. And what my firm does, we offer pretty much better versions of index funds. So most of you guys have probably heard of the S&P 500. That's an index fund, the most popular one. And so instead of just taking the biggest 500 companies, which is the S&P 500, which is great, nothing wrong with that by any means. Something that I believe in, and why I was excited about this firm and doing an internship with Dimensional. We offer tilted index funds that are based on different trading strategies and different, pieces of academic research that have been done in the field. Even some Nobel Prize winning economists, we use as a basis for some of our different strategies. And so we'll help our clients really diversify their investments in still, a few hundred different companies, but instead of, just the 500 biggest, it'll be based on different strategies.
Nice. I like it. So it's interesting. I remember just in some of our time when you were really locked in with the course or whatnot, you really took the sales. You had a lot of questions about that and just talking about the process of it. So I think it's super exciting that you'll be using that stuff now with this role.
Totally.
Have they given you any idea on what their customer acquisition process looks like at all?
I mean, we haven't spoken a ton about it necessarily, but I have a pretty good idea, and I think a lot of it is honestly relationally based.
Yeah.
And so, especially in the industry, there's a lot of investment conferences that happen, and so at those conferences there will be, a lot of financial professionals that offer products. My firm, maybe others as well, and then a lot of, the investors will come as well, and so my firm will put on talks. We'll have people that work for the company kind of speak to the room about what we do, and a lot of it is relationally based. And so, of course, it's a huge piece of sales. So it'd be cool to see that as well.
No, you got to build the relationships. So, all right, I'm gonna jump around for a little bit. Now, honestly, I just want to talk to you. We kind of set the table so that you guys can just listen. So, coming into your senior year with soccer, what's that gonna look like for you this year? I know when I went to your game, you weren't starting, but you played, a
Yeah.
significant amount of minutes. You ended the game. So what do you think soccer's gonna look like for you this coming season?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm very excited for the season. First of all, it's my senior season, so got to end it on a
Facts.
bang for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
It's been my whole life playing the game I love, so it's crazy that it's all coming to an end, but
Okay.
I'm excited. We have a pretty strong squad. It'll be
Okay.
exciting to see the freshmen as well at preseason. And, I'm really hoping my individual goal is to, be getting consistent minutes and really, playing in every game, helping the team as much as possible. And then our team goal that I think really all the guys share is we want to win an Ivy League championship and go to the NCAA tournament. And
Yeah.
kind of like with basketball and March Madness, it's the same thing with soccer.
Okay.
If you win your conference, we get to go to the national NCAA tournament. And so
That's what's up.
that's the goal. Want to end it with a trophy, and excited for the season.
That's what's up. Now, in your journey, obviously, it's a Division I team, Division I sport. Have you tried to dive into like anything NIL at all, or what's been your experience with that on the soccer side of things, being from an Ivy League and not a Power 5?
Yeah, totally. I mean, personally, no. I'm not the caliber of player that's necessarily right for NIL money, especially in soccer where there's not nearly as much as football, basketball. But it definitely is around. Some of my teammates have NIL deals.
Mm-hmm.
I was just talking with one of my friends as well who plays in college, and he was telling me one of his teammates transferred out, is getting paid $60,000 to transfer to another school and continue playing. And so it's definitely growing within college soccer as well, which is pretty cool. But personally, not exactly the best fit for me, and so many other things that I'm excited, to work on with my time. So I've been focusing.
You can
on
make your
things.
own NIL though.
I'm sure that's true. Yeah.
So here's what I mean by that. So, and you probably know this, but I'm gonna highlight it in case maybe it wasn't highlighted. So, most athletes don't understand NIL is two parts.
Yeah.
There's pay to play, and then there's the actual name, image, and likeness.
Sponsorships,
Yeah,
brand
exactly.
deals, yeah.
So most kids, they don't understand that, like, hey, you may not get paid to play, right? You may be a walk-on, you may get scholarships or whatever, and you may not fall into that category. But if you have a personality and you have a product, or you have something that, like, hey, I feel like I could bring attention to whatever this is and use my platform, then you actually can create some opportunities for the sponsorship side of NIL.
Totally.
So, and maybe we'll talk a bit about that off camera.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've thought about it to that end where it's like, hey, like, what could Roman's personal brand do? But I could see a restaurant, partnering with you, and even if it's not like thousands of dollars, it could be like free meals for the season, but you just make sure that after the home games, you give flyers to all the people whose family come up and they go to that restaurant, and your family eats for free for the season.
Totally.
So there's a lot of ways to chop this NIL thing up.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to necessarily be like the, all or nothing type situation. So
yeah, it seems like you're pretty knowledgeable on the subject. I almost feel like there's a book out there or something. It's called How to Get More from the Game.
Get more from the game.
I heard it's a bestseller, and so shout out my guy Dan. He's an author, published author. His book is How to Get More from the Game, for athletes really at any level, I think. To learn how to really leverage their sport both on the field and off the field, and so on the court, off the court, whatever you play. And so
that's a fact. We got to get you a deal.
Check it out.
You need one deal.
Yeah.
You could get a deal.
You could get a deal.
You could get a deal.
I believe in myself.
Yeah, 100%. And there, I feel like there's a restaurant, or there's, and even the fact that, like, you could probably get a finance company.
Yeah.
To pay you a few dollars.
Totally.
To just make some content about them, and because you have their clientele.
True. Especially Ivy League, there's a lot of wealthy parents at the games. That's for sure.
You know what I mean? So we're gonna work on that. We're gonna get you a deal. All right. So now here's I want to know what you're thinking for, like, after graduation, because when I see you, and it's funny, I heard somebody say this and it kind of stuck with me. They said potential is what you would do in somebody's situation. So potential really isn't real from the third party perspective, right? Because even though I can see potential,
yeah.
it's what I would do.
Yeah.
But it's you're not,
You gotta want it.
you don't have, well, here's the thing, you don't have my life experience, and I'm not in your shoes.
Yeah.
So the thing that I would do that you're not doing, I don't know why you're not doing that thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm not in your shoes. Though if I was in your shoes, I would perceive that this is what I would do.
Yeah. Totally.
But I don't see you as a employee for long. So what are the plans graduation like? Is employment a part of the journey? I know you have the recruiting business. Is you're still working on that?
Still working on that.
So why don't you explain what that is for anybody watching?
All right, cool. Yeah. Before we get into the rest of the question,
Yeah.
It's a recruiting agency that I've been working on for a little over a year now, called Playmaker Pathways. And so what we do is we support talented Canadian athletes to come over to the United States and continue playing soccer. And also we connect them with the scholarships to be able to do so, because it's a lot more expensive a lot of times for internationals, especially with the exchange rate in Canada. It's pretty difficult. And so we've been leveraging our own experience. My two co-founders also play in college. We grew up playing together, and they're Canadian. And so we saw the opportunity, all the talent in Canada that really doesn't get as many opportunities to come over. And so we work with those Canadian players and their families. They pay us to then support them in reaching out to coaches. We've really been intentional to build up our network for the agency, speaking with dozens of coaches on the phone every week, every month. And so when we're representing a player, we'll send their video over to coaches, really advocate for them, and then when we find those opportunities and the scholarships, present them to the players and make sure they're able to chase their dreams and continue playing.
Yeah. So like, what's your model for that in terms of like, how do you make that business profitable? Like, are the athletes paying you like a subscription? Is it like a one-time thing? Or knowing you, I know it's a subscription. I know Roman like cash flow.
Yeah, I do like cash flow, that's for sure. I would say it's somewhere in between a one-time payment and a subscription. So we've actually thought a lot about the business model and our payment structure, and I think we've landed on something pretty good, and it's been working well for us. So we have 3 separate payments, and really the goal is to align incentives as best as possible, and also to help us sell to new families especially. And so we have an upfront fee that's pretty low. It's $295 to get started.
Okay.
And that covers a professional highlight video that we'll make for the player, and then all of our outreach to coaches. And then essentially we only get compensated provided that we're successful in finding every player, those offers and scholarships. And so the second payment is what we call our first success fee. That's $13.50, and that's due only provided that we're successful in finding that player an official offer and a scholarship that they can go ahead and sign.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so really it's contingent on us doing our job, which is, in some ways how it should be, and it helps us build trust with the families as well when we're selling to them, because they can see, I'm not getting scammed, I'm not gonna have to pay you if you don't do your job. And so I think that's good. And then our final payment is our commitment fee, which is also $13.50, and that's only due if they do decide to officially accept one of the offers that we found them, sign the papers, and go to school. And so the full package, if you add those all up, it comes to $29.95, so $3,000, and that's only if a player decides to accept a scholarship and commit. So if you think about it, they're saving a lot more money with their scholarship than they're paying us, and so that's the idea.
That's cool. So like, how hands-on are you guys with a player? Because I figure, like, obviously anything when you're starting, you don't have as many. But as you grow, it's like, okay, so so what does that look like if I sign up to work with you?
Yeah, it's cool. So it's me and my 2 co-founders right now. That's the full team, and so I actually do most of the business side of things. So I do the sales, taking Best Skills Academy into direct action, which is really cool. Do a lot of our business structure, some of our marketing, collect the payments, etc. And then my 2 co-founders are actually focused on doing a lot of the recruiting, and so one of them focuses on the girls side, one on the boys side. And so when we're speaking with a player and they sign to the agency, to answer your question, we'll set them and their family up in a WhatsApp channel with myself, my 2 co-founders, and then also their whole family, so that we can stay on the same page. And then we're gonna go out, do a lot of the legwork, actually finding them those opportunities, speaking with the coaches on the phone, over text, etc. And then when the coaches are interested, we'll keep them updated, on a weekly, bi-weekly basis in that WhatsApp channel with their families, saying, hey, we have coach X, Y, and Z. They're interested in speaking with you.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we're only connecting them with the players once they already, are very interested in them. And so it's a good opportunity for the players to then meet the coaches, and we go from there.
Bro, I got a pipeline for you. I literally just thought about this.
What's up?
So one of my really good friends, his name is Matthew Ambrose.
Okay.
Multi-millionaire.
Cool.
But his son is really into soccer. He was just here, and it's funny. He was in Rochester, so he lives in he lives between Montreal and Toronto. He was just in Rochester, and it's funny because I wasn't. It was one of the weekends I wasn't home.
Yeah.
But he was here, and his son had a futsal tournament.
Cool.
Did I say that right? Futsal?
Yeah, futsal.
He had a futsal tournament at my high school I graduated from.
Really? That's crazy.
But he is really tapped in with the soccer network in Canada.
Okay.
And
That's
his
crazy.
other, it's funny, they're two best friends and business partners, Matthew Ambrose and Matthew Lamontagne, both extremely successful, but they're really tapped in with.
Yeah, let me write this down, Matthew.
Oh,
Ambrose.
I'm a personally connect. You know how I do.
All right,
You know how I do. we're gonna make that happen. But
My
they're
guy.
tapped in with the soccer networks all through Canada, because these are the parents who, number one, they love soccer, but they have the means where their kids are doing all the soccer things. So they're very well connected, and they're networkers by what do you call it? Not by like, what, I can't think of the word. They're networkers by trade. They're in the industry. Matter of fact, remember I spoke to you about ACM when I did network marketing?
Yeah.
So they're both senior vice presidents with that company.
Cool.
And
That's
so
sweet.
they are very well connected with
That's
everybody
awesome.
everywhere. So
I love it.
we gonna get that going for you.
Appreciate that.
So
That'd be great.
okay. And I honestly, what I love, and if you're watching this and you're in business or you're going into business, because it's funny, I started thinking about customers, and I said, no, I need to think more specific, because I have a couple people here that I thought of, but your niche is Canadian to US.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh snap. But your niche actually helps you to gain more business, because it went from, okay, I got a couple people here as customers, to where no, between the Matthews, that could end up actually being a pipeline for you.
Yeah.
Like, connecting with them could be you guys going and doing a presentation at a Canadian soccer academy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Because they have those type of connections.
Yeah.
So the niching down, it helps, because now
It does,
you
yeah.
know exactly who you're talking to, who you want to serve, and specifically how you want to serve them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fire.
It reminds me of one of the modules from Investment Skills Academy, actually. I think you said something like, if you're trying to sell to everybody, you're selling to nobody.
Yes.
And
yes.
so true,
My man, yo, you just
I did.
touched my heart, man. Touched my heart. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, and so it's true. Niching down has definitely helped us. At the start, we were actually trying to just sell to all soccer players, you know, Americans too, and we saw that we're having more success with the Canadians. A lot of times they face, more pain points actually coming over, and so decided to just commit to that, focus on that, and it means we can brand ourselves as the Canadian recruiting agency.
Right.
So then when Canadian players see us, they feel like we're actually talking to them rather than just, a general avatar. So
Right. No, I love that. All right, so boom. So that's your international side hustle, right? So now graduation, right? Graduation's gonna come like this time next year.
Yeah, it's
You will
crazy.
have
It's
walked
crazy.
that stage, right? So are you considering going right into post grad? Are you gonna go find something in finance? Are you gonna jump out the plane and become an entrepreneur and build that parachute? What you thinking?
Yeah, it's a good question, and one I think about, one I'm excited about, really. And I think, there's a few avenues I see, and one would be I would have one more year of eligibility, college soccer eligibility, and so toying with the potential to leverage that to go start my MBA, maybe at hopefully a great business school, and be able to continue playing soccer
like
for
that.
one more year, which would be pretty special.
I like that.
But at the same time, I'm itching to get out into the world and focus on my career. And so the other two avenues I'm really considering, I would say one would be trying to actually go and work for a really cool startup. And I'm working for one now called Crave New World, which we can speak about if it makes sense. But I think it would be a valuable experience to continue, building my skill set before going full time on my own business, which is definitely, as Dan knows, who I am and what I want to do. And then The final pathway, which is also really exciting to me, would be to go try and work in VC or maybe growth equity. And it's something I've been doing a lot at Brown. I actually lead a club called Van Wickle Ventures, and so it's a team of students. We get to invest part of Brown's endowment in Brown alums that are building cool companies, and so we really are acting as venture capitalists and really get to do the whole fund ourselves. It's fully student run, and so we do everything from sourcing deals, doing the diligence, making the investments, presenting it to our investment committee, and had a ton of fun with that.
And you've been on that since you got to Brown, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what has been your biggest win thus far that you've had a hand in saying, hey, I want us to invest in this? What's been one of the biggest ROI so far?
Yeah, it's a great question. I would say it's a company called Best Day Brewing, which is a non-alcoholic beer company that was founded by a Brown grad who graduated maybe 15 years ago.
Okay.
And they're growing super quickly. It's a super cool brand because, one, I think their product's better than anyone else on the market. What they do is they actually make beer to full strength, and then they have a process, it's called membrane filtration, where they de-alcoholize it, and so it retains almost all of the flavor of normal beer.
Okay.
Whereas a lot of competitors, they'll brew their beer in a way that it never develops alcohol to begin with, and so non-alcoholic beer still, but the flavor sometimes isn't as good, similar to beer. But their company is super cool, and I actually sourced the deal and then got to be the diligence lead on that. So I was leading the team throughout it, and our investment committee passed it unanimously, which is pretty rare. And so now the Brown Endowment, a piece of that through Van Wickle is invested in the company. I actually decided to put in some of my own money because I was really excited about the deal, and I'm an angel investor in them as well, and so excited to see how that pans out. But yeah, go get yourself some Best Day Brewing. It's pretty cool.
I like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Sheesh. That's good stuff. This guy's busy. This
something like that.
It's so interesting, right? Because when we were working together, I got so much life from working with you because you never made excuses. And I see that still now as a great trait that you have, where you were doing, you used to practice for like 3 to 4 hours a day when you were doing MLS Next, right?
Yeah.
When you were with Iron YFC, was it 3-4 hours?
Yeah, it's gym, straight to practice.
Then traveling. Then you were at a school that has a crazy course load for high school. You're in your senior year doing projects and everything like that. But like you saw the value in what Best Bet brought to the table, and you locked in, and you showed up. You always had questions, and it was extremely refreshing. And I told my wife, I said, if I find 100 Romans, we'll be all right.
Well, those are kind words.
And I say that, and I begin to realize quickly that you're as you grow, your success won't be by accident, because this is the integrity of who you are, right? Like, you didn't have to lock in and take my course the way you did, but you and I made a deal.
Indeed.
And you kept your word. And I've actually told your story so many times throughout this 5 years, because if you're a young person, you're watching this, your commitment, your word, your follow through is as good as cash. Like, point blank period. As good as cash. And when you don't have cash, your word, you can create cash through your word. And you can create opportunities, because if you can say, hey, I will do this, I can do this, and then you can follow through and execute, now someone believes in you.
Totally.
And when somebody believes in, like, I'm going to connect Roman with my 2 friends, the Matthews, because I know Roman's going to follow through.
Yeah.
I know that Roman is going to not make me look bad. I know actually that Roman's going to make me look great. I know that once I connect them, I know they're going to come back like, oh my gosh, this guy is amazing. And they might want to invest. So I'm going to have to work out a little finder's fee on that.
For sure.
Because, and again, you having that integrity, having that character. So I told my daughter, I said, would you want to drive over a bridge that every now and again just says, I'm not carrying weight?
Yeah.
to say, I'm gonna take a break from carrying the weight today.
Yeah.
Would you want to take that chance? And she's like, no. And she's 11. She's
Yeah.
like, no. Because what if that day it decides to take off? You're on the bridge.
Totally.
Now it's curtains for you. And so, wow. So right now, school's over for the year. So you're done with school.
Done
But
with school for a
you
few
got
months.
school, but you worked on your soccer startup. You're working on another startup, right? You mentioned that one.
Yeah, that one's not mine, but working for the founder.
Yeah, working for the founder. Yep. So you're working for the founder on that. You're playing soccer, which
soccer.
Division I soccer, any Division I sport is a full-time job plus.
It's true.
To say it's a full-time job is actually an understatement. And then, like, you're involved in the endowment. So, bro, how do you do it? How do you find the time?
It is pretty darn busy, to be honest, but that's the way I like it, to be honest, because I enjoy all of it. You know, I don't stick with things that I don't feel like, you know, I'm getting value from or providing value to other people with, and stuff that I don't enjoy. And so I feel blessed and grateful to be able to have so many different incredible opportunities in front of me, and to be at a school like Brown. You know, it's a dream come true, truly, and also, you know, a privilege that millions of kids out there wish they were in my shoes. And so I feel like to not take full advantage of those opportunities would be, you know, such a waste. And so honestly, you know, it comes naturally, and it's been, you know, of course, throughout my 3 years there, getting my feet wet in so many different things, and these are a few of the ones that have really stuck, and that I think I really enjoy, I think I'm good at, and so it's great. But I would say, in terms of how I manage it, Google Calendar, my best friend for sure.
I like that. I like that. All right. So when you're not working, when you're not creating business strategies to become the next business titan, what is Roman doing for fun? How are you having fun at Brown? What are you doing in your spare time?
I mean, I love just kicking it with the homies for sure, being outside. I'm a big, you know, hiker when the weather's nice, want to be out, whether it's, you know, going for a walk, going to the beach. Rhode Island has some beautiful spots, and so love that. Also, just meals with friends is the best. During the semester, me and a few of my roommates, we actually did something that I think goes back to a lot of, you know, what you talked about in Best But Skills Academy, but is also, you know, just who I am. We would every week try to invite a new group of people over for dinner, and so we'd chef up for them, really get to know them more, because Brown's the type of place where it's about 6,000 students total, so it's big, but it's also small at the same time. And so there's all these people that, whether it's, you know, friends of friends that you'll, you know, see and you'll dap them up or you'll say what's up, but like maybe you've never actually had like a real conversation with them. And so we really wanted to make the effort to get to know all those people, and so it's been super fun, you know, saying, hey, what's up? You know, I know we've been dabbing each other up for 2 years. Why don't you actually come over for dinner? Like, I'll chef up for you and get to know them. So that's been fun too.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. That's super creative. Word.
Shout out my roommate Harper Austin. He actually is the one who came up with that.
Okay. Shout out to Harper. I like that, Harper. That's fire. You guys should vlog that.
We should actually.
You should vlog that, especially like senior year. Like, if you guys keep it going.
True. Take like a
bro, that would be a fire vlog. Just
that would be lit.
Part of the dinner is you just throw on somebody's camera phone. And you just get a couple mics going around the room, just chat it up, throw it on YouTube. Like, and not even for the sake of going viral, but for the amount of access we have to recording technology, we under-document the things that count.
Yeah. That's true.
Yo, I believe that like wholeheartedly. Like we and it's funny because one of a venture that I was working on, this thing, Keepsake Conversations, and I just had this whole epiphany. It was just like, yo, like we roast the whole podcast culture, because it's like, yo, anybody gets one of those Shure microphones, they'll get on the internet and say anything. You know what I'm saying? They're just like, bro, they get a Shure mic and all of a sudden they're a podcast, bro. But like, what would it look like to just sit down with parents, siblings, and have long form content together? That it's funny, one of my boys, I recorded him and his son having a conversation, and in real time, that conversation was so cringe. Oh, it was painful to watch, because his son was like, I don't want to be here. He's like roasting the day. We're trying to like make these memories, But in 2 weeks, when we watched it back, it was hilarious. It aged so well.
It's so funny.
And so document those, because
Totally.
at a school like Brown, you already know this. You have world leaders in all types of different spaces, not just when it comes to money and making money, but
true.
people that are going to affect change in the world, and to have those archives.
That would
I'm
be
like,
awesome.
man, I
Yeah,
shared,
totally.
Jane is doing this over here, and she's absolutely killing it, and we shared dinner together, and Jane talked about this here. This is who Jane was
totally.
before she was the Jane that you know today.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
bro, if you,
Yeah,
I know you got
I
a
like
tripod, but turn your phone on. Record some
Yeah,
of those
word.
dinners. Like I said,
I love it.
it doesn't have to be about viral, man. It could
Yeah.
literally just be about
Yeah,
documentation
totally.
and
For the archives, for the memories.
for sure.
I love it.
Word.
I love it.
Word. Wow. Bro, this is good, man.
Indeed.
This is good.
Long time coming. I think it's this conversation is past due.
Right.
I mean, we've been having them, but not
well, we
documented
stay
yet.
talking.
We
Right.
stay
We
talking,
we never got a chance to film one. So it's funny, like I feel like also too, because there've been other times where I've wanted to record, but honestly, I just feel like whenever we've gotten together, the conversation, it always just flows so naturally. It almost feels like a crime to pull out the camera, because it's just like, yo, that's a little bro for real, you know what I'm saying? And we just chopping it up. But I think that conversations like this are super needed, and I know that even if 50 people watch this, they're gonna get something from this. You know what I'm saying? So, word. All right. So big picture. What does? I'm gonna ask this question very carefully, on purpose, because I don't want it to be just about work.
Yeah.
Right. But what does life, and what does Roman's lifestyle, his day-to-day look like in Roman's perfect world in 10 years? So not just what you want to be doing for work, but what does Roman's day, because you're just turned 20.
22.
Just turned 22.
It's crazy.
So at 32, right? What would ideally be Roman's day-to-day?
Yeah, I would say, I'm not gonna necessarily say there's a specific place I want to live, because I think there's so many places I would love being. But I would say, waking up in the morning, buzzing to get out of bed for ideally, I think my own company. That's where I see myself, that I'm excited to go and run and build, and it's making an impact in the world, and want to kiss my wife as I leave the house, say goodbye to my kids. I definitely want to start a family, and so I think if I was able to be in a position to be starting a family, and then also building a company that's making a real impact on people's lives and on the world, that's the dream, really. And I think it's also what I really enjoy, and is really who I am. So
Gotcha.
That's where I see myself.
Still playing pickup soccer in the rec leagues?
Absolutely.
Frying them?
Every Sunday league. I actually played today. Today's Sunday. If you're watching this, I play for Pittsford United, which is a Sunday league team, RDSL, Rochester District Soccer League.
Really?
It's pretty cool. It's promotion relegation, and so my Pittsburgh team, I can play when I'm home over the summers, and so we won our home opener 2-0.
Okay. Who do you guys play?
We played, it's teams from all over Rochester, and so
really?
Today we played a team that I believe is from Irondequoit.
Okay.
And so it's a pretty fun time, yeah.
And it's promotion and relegation?
Promotion relegation.
That's crazy. How many levels?
There's 3 divisions. And so if you want to enter a new team, you can enter, but you have to start at the bottom. Exactly.
Okay.
And so then if you
win, little Drake.
Exactly. Started from the bottom, now we're here,
Okay.
But if you win the league, every year there's a new season. And so if you win the season, then you get promoted up to the higher league, and the bottom team comes down. And so it's great, because it keeps the level, means that you get to play with people that are at a more similar level. And so
that's fire.
It's a great time.
I didn't even know they had that.
Yeah. But to answer your question, we'll absolutely still be running that.
Fire.
Leaving my heart out there, dying for the badge on Sunday.
Word.
So that's
a
big part of it, yeah.
I just found a men's league in DC.
Really?
So I just found a men's basketball league. So I got picked up as a free agent. I sent out my tape.
Yeah, fire.
I sent out my tape, and
bro, put the international clips out there.
Yeah. So I got a guy, so I'm gonna be joining his team. And the league starts in June. So I'm 38, so he'll be 32, so he's in good shape 10 years from now. So the question is, can you do it at almost 40? Which
Yeah.
I'm confident you'll be doing that
I
at my
believe in
age.
myself. This
Word.
guy's a hooper. If you don't know, I'll tell you that.
Ball is life.
That's
Ball
how you
is
know
life.
that's how you know it's legit when they got free agents putting out their tapes in order to get picked up. I'll
Listen.
tell you, Pittsburgh United, we don't got that.
Well, it's funny because I didn't think I was gonna get in the league because I thought I pissed the commissioner off. So I reached out. So I did the free agent form. I got an email from the guy, but I had a few questions. So I reached out. I said, hey, I got a few questions, whatever. So I said, just give me a call. You can. So he calls me, and so the first question he asked me is, hey, are you putting the team? And I'm like, nah, I'm a free agent. He's like, oh, all right, I gotta go. I'm like, bro, why would you call me if you can't talk? I told you I had questions, and you're literally like, and I said that to him, so I'm like, I pissed him off. So I'm like, I'm not, I can hang up getting into the league. But the next day, I got an email from a team captain, and he was like, yeah, I've been, so he said, I've been managing a team. So I said, wait, what do you mean? So apparently he only plays like 3 games a year, and he's just a sub, but he just manages the team.
That's fine. He's the coach.
Yeah, he's the coach. So so I sent him some of the stuff because I put basketball content on TikTok. So I sent him some of my videos. So he got in touch with me right away after that.
Sweet. I love it.
And come June, I'll have found a pickup league to get some hoops in, and that's therapy for real.
Yeah, for real.
Basketball and cold press juicing, bro. Juicing, that's my thing. So
I love it.
Word.
Yeah, sports are special, that's for sure.
Yeah. Keeps you young. Keeps you young, keeps you feeling good. But I'm trying to think. You got anything you want to ask me? Any questions? I know I've been mostly asking all the questions here.
I do. This guy's moving down to the DMV area pretty soon, starting a new job and bringing his family too. But I got a question for you.
Okay.
First of all, what kind of motivated you to make the big switch, bringing your whole family to a new place? And then 2, when I look at you, you inspire me because you never stop. You never quit. You never give up, no matter what it is. So I guess, for you, what is it that keeps you going?
Yeah. All right. So first question, my wife and I, we have wanted to relocate for a while. And we've talked about it several times, but every time we talk about it, it kind of just went away. So a good friend of mine, shout out to my guy, Chris, he got a job with this company. And he really told me, like, I think you would really do well with this work and with this company. You should give it a shot. And I don't know if I explained you the process, but initially I was about to get an offer. I didn't get an offer, but I turned it down before they offered me because there was some kind of back and forth about the territories. And I was like, I don't want it. Yeah. And I think in a way it was kind of me getting cold feet a little bit, and it was a way out. Yeah. But then I had opportunity to spin the block. If you don't know what that means, it means the opportunity came back around. And so when it did, I just jumped because I just like, you know what, at the end of the day, like, I failed a lot. Like I've failed a lot in life. And so I'm just of the belief system that I would rather try and fail than never try and be like, what if?
Yeah, that's real.
And so I'm terrified. I'm already there, working a job, and I'm already in the area. So now the task is getting my family down there. And it's daunting, but I trust heavily in God. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's major for me, is believing that all things are going to work together for my good.
Yeah.
And I
Amen.
Word. And I trust my wife. She's my rider, and I know we're going to make it shake. And my kids are resilient. I think they're a big piece of why I believe we can do this, is because they're very social, they're very outgoing, and I know that they'll be okay.
Yeah.
I know that they have that chutzpah to get out there and make new friends and to just be an asset wherever they are. So who they are gives me a ton of confidence. So and then more to the why is just new place. new opportunities. I get to start. I get to rewrite who I am.
Yeah.
Some people know me and have known me for years here in Rochester.
Yeah.
So to now get a clean slate
Totally.
and get to start over without past failures, right? Get to rewrite who I am. I love that, you know. So I'm super excited for that. So those are some of the whys. And then what was the second question?
What motivates you to keep going? Because you're relentless and it's inspiring.
What motivates me to keep going is I believe there's just so much more to life. I want to live.
Yeah.
Like I want to live. I want to impact others. Like I love the journey we shared because it was like I was able to be an accelerator for you, right? There are things that because of who you are, you would have got to them, and I know you would have gotten to them. But when our paths crossed, you got them in a concentrated form very quickly.
Yeah.
So now you could excel. Now where other young people kind of can flounder because there are certain concepts that they don't understand and they don't put into practice, you were boom, right by them.
Yeah.
Because you saw the field different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for me, I just love that. I'm eternally curious. I always want to know what's under the next rock. I'm always I love side quests.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I live for a good side quest.
Word.
And I want to create opportunities for my kids. I want them to experience life in a way where they don't see limits. And I know for them to experience life that way, that I have to not see limits. And so, man, I believe that God gave me a lot. And so I believe that I just want to pour out a lot, and however way I end up doing it and through whatever means, whatever mechanisms, whether it be business, whether it be volunteering, whether it be just, conversations like this that don't record, because most of the conversations I have like this aren't recorded, but I like watching people win, and to be a part of that victory in any way, shape, or form is dope. And I think that's what motivates me. That's what pushes me.
Awesome.
And I like nice stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna keep it 100.
Real.
I want a house with an indoor basketball court.
Word.
You're not gonna have a house with an indoor basketball court. I want to try and do this before I'm 45 because I really want to enjoy it. Like I really want to be in there getting shots up. Like my kids will enjoy it. My son and my daughters, they'll enjoy it. I mean, my oldest, she loves sports. So I'm sure if we do it, we'll do a pickleball court because you already know I'm down with the pickleball now. So I'm sure that they'll enjoy it. But I want to enjoy it too, and I want to do really amazing things for my wife, for my kids, and I want to own a plane. So, I don't know. I just like cool, nice stuff, and fortunately, that stuff it's expensive.
Yeah.
they don't give out airplanes for the free.
Last time I checked, I don't think they do.
But I think another baseline for me is, and I think this is why I like planes so much, is to me planes represent freedom.
It's the ultimate freedom.
It represents a level of freedom that's just different, where you could just go get on your plane and go. Whether you're flying it yourself or you got pilots that fly it for you. And I have a deep-seated belief in me that I was just made to live free. And I want to experience life like that. So those are the things that motivate me.
I love it.
So, word.
I love it.
Word. I think I'm going to shut the video off because I don't know how much battery I have left. I forgot to charge my phone before I left.
Yeah. Well, it's been real.
Any closing thoughts you want to share with the audience before you go?
I would say, you only live once. Got to follow your heart, be true to yourself. And really, I resonate with what you said too. I would rather try and fail than not try at all. Definitely at least to me, I don't want to live with regrets. That's a big thing. And
Right.
if you got one life, one God-given life, you gotta make the most of it. So
That's a fact. Word.
cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Empty cup. Cheers. Roman, I appreciate you sitting down with me, bro.
Absolutely. I
This was
appreciate
amazing.
you.
This is a long time. We should have been had this conversation. And this can't be the last one.
True.
Like,
We'll
yo,
have part two
whether
coming.
there's no coaching, no
Yeah.
whatever, it doesn't matter. This was just good just to be good. And so if you're watching this, yo, make sure you go follow Roman on all his socials. You pretty much Roman Novy-Marx on everything, right?
Roman Novy-Marx.
Yeah. Go
Check it
follow
out.
my guy. And thank you guys for tuning in. Leave any comments, any questions in the comment section. I'm sure Roman will see it. I might try and get to it myself, but thank you guys so much, and have an amazing rest of your day. Peace.
Peace.